Pony, and welcome back to the Pony Talk Podcast. Great to see you all again here. I am your lovely host, Dashi101, and I am joined by someone very special. We have Chris, guys. He is back. Say hello.
What's up?
Alrighty. Well, great to have you back, man. How have you been?
Doing good.
That's good. That's always good to hear. Especially a day before American holiday, which is going to be coming up soon. Got any plans?
Huh?
Got any plans?
Not really. Just having a barbecue. Even though it's not a Canada holiday.
Well, yeah, true. But I think most people over there do know what Memorial Day is, but yeah. So, but let me tell you, that's funny that you bring up a barbecue, because that's exactly the same thing I'm gonna be doing too. Woo! Yep. Always cooking on a Memorial Day. And maybe go swimming. Swimming is also a big thing, because all the pools open up and all that. Anyway, guys. Yeah, you... Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, finally the pools are finally open up.
The weather has been getting extremely nice over here, which I'm really happy. No more of that S word. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it. Yes. Yes, I think we are done with that, though. The flowers are blooming. The sun's out. It has been raining on and off, but that's alright. Rain is a good thing. You do need rain for flowers and all that to come. But guys, let's get on to the episode. We have episode 11 of season 8. We have Molt down.
That's kind of like for
Yeah, but we also find out that the fancy word for molt is also a breakout, sort of like
a snake.
Well, yeah, just like a complexion breakout too. You know, when people get zits and all that, which character Spike starts to get because he's getting older. But I got this giant smile on my face, guys, and this is a really good sign because this episode was really good. Really good.
Because we know who the writer of this episode is.
Yes, exactly. And also, something very crazy happens to one of our very beloved characters on a very spiritual level. Anyway, whoa, was that your phone?
Yeah, that's my phone. It was just a notification.
Oh, okay. I have mine on vibe, so that way we don't hear any weird sounds or anything. And I think I changed it too, so yeah. Anyway, let's hope I don't get an interruption because, yeah. We're gonna try going through this as briefly as possible, guys. But, let's start off. So, we come with Spike and Rarity going through, I believe, the Everfree, looking for, the Phoenixes. The Phoenix Nest to see, Pee-wee, because supposedly Pee-wee has grown up, and, Spike kind of wants to see them, and so does Rarity. And
I never thought
yeah, you know, and I still question myself where Aloysius has gone. You know, last time we saw Aloysius was when Twilight's house blew up by T-Rex.
He was there in season 5.
Oh, he was, yeah, for a very short time, but yeah, I want to know what happened to Aloysius. What has happened to that owl? But I do remember too, and they do add this on. Rarity does also want to collect some phoenix feathers for her new dresses as well, which she, as we saw, does get a bit of those. But Spike is holding his face, as we seen in the beginning, and Rarity's kind of like looking around, like, what's going on? Why is Spike holding his face like that? And then later we see Spike sort of has, well, as we know it, a zit, which Spike says that it is just like a red, itchy, like pimple-like thing. Oh, he calls it stone scale. Stone scale, that's what it's called. But I like to call it a zit. I mean, it looks like a skid. It was just underneath his scale. But yeah, I get it. Your buzzer's funny. So, now that Rarity knows the truth, what's going on with Spike, Spike's like, Rarity, I don't really want to show this, it's too embarrassing, and Rarity then goes, oh, Spike, that's nothing. I used to break out too. Yes, it's very annoying and all that, but it's just part of life. And, Rarity then mentions, if you're really concerned about it, you should go talk to Zakora. She has this really fancy cream that will help cure that. And, Spike's like, yeah, but maybe in the morning it will go away and all that. So, next morning, Spike wakes up. Well, he's not waking up. Twilight kind of goes up in his bedroom and says, Spike, why, it's like the afternoon and you're still not up? What's up with that? And Spike's like, I don't feel like going. And she's like, okay. Then he gets up and Twilight sees his face, which Twilight's like, ooh, actually, you know what? I don't think I need help around the school today. And Spike's like, oh god, what's wrong? Takes a look at his face, and now it's spread all across his face, not just one particular spot on his cheek. It's everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely shocking.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, breakout and just complexions and all that, when they break out, it's not fun. And Spike's over here, which I can relate to this a lot. He's over here trying to pinch them and kind of like burst them or something, which hurts crazy, so yeah. But then Twilight mentions that fancy cream, the same cream that Rarity talked about, and he's like, yeah, Rarity already beat you to that one, Twi, and I don't think that's gonna work for what I have. And then later on, Spike's like, well, I think I'm gonna go out. And he does, and we see him dressed up in his sort of like, sort of his hideout kind of clothes, like,
yeah,
you know, not noticing that it's Spike. Obviously, everyone knows it is Spike. Trying to hide his molts as we know them by, later on in the episode. Rarity comes by, says, oh, hey, Spike, what are you doing out here? And then Spike mentions something about, what was it? Oh, I know exactly what it was. Like, he was going to take a tour around the school and help some of the tour people. And then Pinkie Pie's over here. Ooh, I thought I was taking the tour. Never mind, here you go, Spike. Have fun. And, yeah. So, now Spike has dug a deeper hole for him. And throughout Twilight's school and all that, showing the ponies where everything's located. And some of these ponies have been located throughout Manhattan. I think we got a little bit of Philadelphia. Yeah, just all over from Equestria to see Twilight's amazing school, the School of Friendship, because it's, again, kind of a unique school because they don't follow by what the EA says, and they kind of do things their own way. So yeah, But while Spike is showing them around, you hear him use different volume tones. He can't speak properly. He starts having these blowout flames just everywhere. It's absolutely crazy. So, yeah. But, now, Spike's like, oh, I can't take this anymore. And he goes out to, Zakura's, I believe. I think I'm correct on that, right?
Well, actually, he went hiding.
Wait, where?
He was hiding in a closet.
Oh! That's right! I totally forgot about that, and someone actually just sent me a notification. No, actually, we're good. Yeah, I forgot. Went and hid in the closet. Now, yep.
Then Smolder finds him.
Smolder does find him. And then, Smolder says, Spike, what are you doing in here? And if you're gonna hide, you hide a little bit better. It's like, what gave it away? The smoke. And then he tries blowing out the smoke, which obviously doesn't help. And Smolder starts catching on to what Spike has and says, ooh, you have a dragon problem. It's not just a normal breakout. You're going through a molt. Spike asks, what's this molt? And Smolder breaks it down saying, basically it's when you have these red, itchy bumps all over you, and they're kind of inflamed, then you start having just normal, burst of fire, and then you start to smell really bad. Yeah. And Smolder takes one good whiff of that and says, ooh, speaking of which. So, Spike questions, like, what's this going to do? And then Smolder kind of goes a little bit in depth, which obviously, I mean, most of us knew that this wasn't going to happen, but Smolder says in the Dragonlands, basically you have to move out, go on your own, blah, blah, this, and this, and Spike, of course, gets worried and concerned. And then we see Pinkie Pie burst in. It says, ooh, I wish I knew that everyone was hiding in the closet and shouting through in here. And then she starts to join in, which obviously, yeah, that's just another thing. But, yeah. So, now this is where Spike does go to Zakura's and says, is there anything you can do? Zakura says, there might be one thing, but for your situation, I don't think it's going to help as much. Because if you're talking that this is a dragon thing and they go through this thing called Molt, yeah, it's probably not going to work. Spike's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Rarity comes by, and Rarity now has a hearing issue.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so now Spike hides somewhere in Zakura's hut, and, then Zakura greets Rarity and says, what's up? Got a hearing problem? Do you have anything? Here, take these drops. They'll help you really much. And Rarity's like, oh, okay, Zakura. Yeah, sounds good. And then I think Rarity starts to mention Spike, like, I'm surprised he hasn't been here. And Zakura's like, oh, you have no idea. And then Spike says something out loud. And Rarity's like, wait, did I hear something? It's working! The drops are actually working. Thank you, Zakura. And she's like, now, where is that sound coming from? And Zakura kind of takes her away and says, oh, I got this to show you, but, just go outside and, go off somewhere. And Zakura's like, Rarity. It's like, well, I gotta get back to doing dresses and all that, so I'll see you soon. And Spike, I forgot, he mentioned, he goes out of the hut and hides somewhere, because now we are interfered with a rock. Or it's mentioned as ROCS. Yeah. Not just ROCK. But these are giant winged fire-breathing birds, or, yeah.
They don't breathe fire.
Oh wait, they don't breathe fire.
They're like giant eagles. They're like giant eagles.
Yeah. Well, we see Spike literally take on this giant rock, but that's where the fire thing came in, and there's just so much going through my mind about this episode. But guys, here comes the juicy stuff. Now we're getting into where it actually gets real. Spike is of course hiding. He's not hiding because of rarity and all that. He's hiding behind one of those tiki masks that Sakura has literally plastered all over her hut. Yeah. And Sakura's like, no need to hide, Spike. Rarity's gone. And he's like, that's not what I'm hiding from. Points to the giant rock. Yeah, not good. So, now chaos has started. Sakura and Spike now are running away from this thing. Throughout the rock trying to capture Spike and Sakura, ends up capturing Sakura in its claws, and then Spike runs into Rarity, or literally, and then says, Spike, what's going on here? And before he's like, you gotta go, the rock captures Rarity as well. So, yeah, not good. And Rarity still has that little hearing problem, you know, the drops aren't too magical, but they are starting to get to Rarity, and she's starting to hear better. Now, Twilight, for some reason, Twilight's in the middle of the forest, who knows why. Yeah, it's just weird where these characters keep popping out from, but it's alright. Still is fine. But then Spike says, yeah, this happened, but you need to go. Why? Points to the giant rock and is trying to go after Twilight, and Twilight now is starting to fight back, and now Spike doesn't know what to do, but then his molting experience is starting to inflame even more, and then Spike kind of goes into some sort of cocoonish little thing, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It definitely reminded me of like the butterfly effect or something like that. But now, sorta.
Oh.
You know how they kind of go caterpillars, they wrap themselves into a cocoon, and they come out as beautiful butterflies, which is technically kind of the same thing that happens in this. Yeah, more of the changelings, but it still has that same relationship, just, you know. But now that he's in this, he hatches kind of the same way he was born into Equestria. But now he has wings. What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My reaction I was like, my mouth was like wide open, and
I know. Dude. It was crazy. And
yeah, I bet everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There were so many thoughts and stuff going through my mind. I was like, what? Spike has wings now. This is awesome.
Finally.
Yeah.
After
8 seasons, he has finally grown some wings, guys.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna say?
No, but he's gonna have a little bit.
Yeah. I do gotta mention something. This is definitely worth mentioning. Okay, Spike has a little bit of does a little bit of ditzy things while he's flying, but then he regains and then like flies like he's been flying forever. You realize he has like really no flying experience, and just in a couple of minutes he flies like a pro. And
wow.
Okay, Twilight, if you remember,
when she had her.
Yeah. Spike had a lot more control than Twilight did when she got her wings. So that's just a fun thing to mention, guys. Let's think about that. yeah, so I kind of found that a little bit hilarious, but then Twilight's reaction really got me. She was like, Spike, when did you grow wings? And he's like, oh, it was part of the molting experience. But let's take care of this giant rock now. And then he flies off, distracts the giant rock, and then Twilight kind of, does her fighting back thing. And then Spike, he breathes out a gush of fire, and this then now takes care of the rock. It literally right in front of its face too. It was just completely burnt, and now Rarity and Zecora are falling, and Spike and Twilight go swoop underneath them, saves them, and yeah, now all of them are saved. Everything's good now. The rock flies wherever it came from, I guess. It was like, yep, I'm done. This dragon I have no use for anymore. He doesn't have that smell anymore. The molting process is done. So, yeah, now the characters are starting to, like, Spike, you've grown wings. And then Rarity's like, I can't hear you, but Spike, those are some nice wings. So yeah, it was pretty funny. And, now, they, well, Spike, in this case, he's like, well, unfortunately, it's time for me to go. And starts walking away slowly. And then this is where Twilight's like, wait, Spike, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, Smolder told me that when dragons grow up and they go through this whole molting process, that they have to leave the nest. And this is where Twilight's like, Spike, that is not true. You don't live in the Dragonland. You literally lived with us ponies throughout your whole life. So, we do things differently. And I always want you to stay with me. No matter how bad things get worse, we will make it through together. And, of course, Spike is very happy to hear that. And every pony else. Now, this was a cute little funny part. Twilight's like, well, we probably should get home. And Spike hops on her back, says, yeah, let's go home. And then this is where Twilight's like, Spike, you have wings now. You don't need me to carry you around anymore.
Yeah,
he's like,
I was telling.
Yeah, and he was like, well, I need to kind of save a break for my wings, And then Twilight's like, oh, whatever. Kind of rolls her eyes and they trot on. And then we come to the final end scene where Rarity is making one of her dresses, and with Spike's help, now that he's got his wings and all that, he's even more helpful to Rarity. So yeah, that was a cute little part. And yeah, so now Spike mentions, Rarity, is there anything else besides making dresses? And then Rarity says, of course there are. There's these dresses I have to do, and to make this for fashion models, and then she goes on and on. And then the end scene, guys. Woo! Alright.
See, now, my question is, I wonder what the rest of the main six are going to react to this when they find out about Spike having wings.
I don't know, man, but guess what? Let me tell you, it was a great episode. Guys.
So far.
Yeah, I do kind of gotta agree with you. So far, guys.
Well, I was thought play is my not horseplay. I think it was like surfing or turf was my favorite.
Yeah. This, guys, I definitely gotta say was one of the more interesting episodes. Yeah. So I really enjoyed this. I give it 2 flaming thumbs up, guys. Amazing.
2 thumbs up.
2 flaming thumbs up just for Spike.
I give it like a 9.
A 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
I think that's a good score, man. A 9 out of 10. Guys, there was a lot to talk about. Spike has wings now, so where is the story gonna take off now? Ha! Puns.
Let's start with the main six, like how you Rainbow Dash is gonna feel?
I don't know, but I'm hoping we get the other main six's reaction to like Spike now having wings. Cause it was
Starlight and Starlight.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be funny, and I hope we get that from the episode. So yeah, guys. But I want to hear what you guys have to say, cause this is crazy. After this many seasons, Spike finally has wings. And we're starting to see these characters grow, and Spike's starting to become an adult, I guess you could say. He's not really a baby anymore.
Okay, how about these two characters? What do you think Ember's gonna feel about this?
I don't know, but maybe I could think Ember
is gonna be really happy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be really happy.
I do. Sorry, I was texting someone.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Ember will be really happy because, well, you know, I mean, of course, you know, Spike has wings, so now he can actually go places and he doesn't have to walk all the way to different places, and it doesn't take him forever. Now he could just zip across. What was that?
Now he doesn't have to ride a pony anymore.
Yeah, true, but, you know, I think he's still going to take those little advancements and stuff. He might still get a little bit of a boost then and there, you know. But we'll just have to see where the episode goes, guys.
What about Garble, though?
Garble?
Garble.
I don't know.
That red dragon, you know him?
Yeah, I know.
He'd be like, what?
Yeah, he'll be like, oh, finally, you got some wings or something, or...
he'd be like, what? That's impossible.
Yeah, he'd be upset about it, or out of that shit. But, guys, let us know what you think, and, yeah, let us know what this episode was like to you guys. I bet you have a lot to say. Just leave it down in the comments below. We love to hear you guys. And, yeah. So, come back for our next episode. It sounds like you have a party over there, man.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, our next episode, come back, we have Marks for Effort. Alrighty, so maybe something dealing with cutie marks or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it definitely gotta be this.
Or the cutie mark crusaders, it could be that too.
Even if that it has the words on it.
Yeah. So either something dealing with cutie marks or the CMC, guys. It should be great though. Yeah. So all I can say is, Chris, thank you all so much for coming out and watching the podcast, and Chris, thank you so much for joining me in the podcast for today.
No biggie.
Alrighty. And you guys, if you out there want to join the podcast, just leave a comment down below saying you want to join, and I will get you set up. So, with that being said, guys, have a great Memorial Day. I know it's not today, but it will be the next day. So,
Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Alrighty. So, as always, guys, we'll see you in the next Pony Talk podcast, guys. Peace out, every pony. Bye.
Bye.